Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss one more very important atomic model. In our previous session, we understood J.J. Thomson's atomic model, where he has compared his model with watermelon. In that, the black seeds compared to electrons and the red pulp compared to the nucleus or the protons. Okay, right. Now today we are going to discuss one more better atomic model than J. Thomson, because J. Thomson's atomic model could not explain all the properties of structure of atom. Therefore, let us wait for one more better atomic model. So in that, today we are going to understand second prominent atomic model of structure of atom. This was given by Ernest Rutherford, New Zealand scientist, very clever. Okay, so this atomic model is called as Rutherford's nuclear atomic model. Why he has used the word nuclear? Because the credit of discovery of nucleus in the structure of atom goes to Ernest Rutherford. For his outstanding work, he was given Nobel Prize. Okay, so I welcome you all for today's session on Rutherford's atomic model. He is the one scientist, the great scientist. Okay, very clever. See, from this we can conclude how much honor, respect was given to the Ernest Rutherford by the country. Okay, so the nation, right? Okay. Now, what he has made? This is the experimental setup of Ernest Rutherford. Okay, he has. Before we go to the Rutherford's atomic model, first let us have an idea about radioactivity. In chemistry, there are certain elements whose nuclei are unstable. It is because of the proton-neutron ratio which exceeds a certain limit, then nucleus of that atom becomes unstable. This we are going to discuss in our higher class in the particle physics. Now, time being, what we have to understand, certain elements are unstable, especially their nuclei. So when the nucleus is unstable, that nucleus gives certain kind of radiations. They are named by a very famous scientist, Henry Becquerel, and they are known as what? Alpha, beta, gamma. It is a natural spontaneous process. Okay, and this process is known as what? Radioactivity, natural activity. Okay, so uranium is an example, plutonium, carbon 14. Okay, heavy one of the isotopes of hydrogen, tritium. So all these are examples for radioactive elements. So radioactive elements emit a certain kind of radiations on their own spontaneously. Okay, so three types of radioactive radiations are alpha, beta, and gamma. And for his experiment, he used alpha particles. This is the important point you have to understand. Okay, so first requirement was use of alpha particles for his experiment, and the second was he used gold. Gold is a noble metal, least reactive. Okay, highly malleable. You can make into thin sheet like a paper. Okay, so for this purpose, he preferred gold metal for his experiment. So then remaining all these are physics devices, scintillators or sensors. Okay, to detect where all the radiations falls. Okay, so this is a very diagrammatic representation of Rutherford's experiment. Now, simple way is this one. Okay, this is a simple way of drawing Rutherford's atomic model procedure. Okay, and this is the source of alpha particles. Okay, from this area, alpha particles are generated. Okay, from the radioactive element, and they are allowed to move in this direction. Okay, so this is what this is known as the scintillator. Okay, or screen, you can say. How cinema rays are allowed to fall on a cinema screen, where you can see the picture. No, like that. One screen was maintained by Rutherford just to see what all happens when alpha rays falls on this gold foil. Okay, right. This is called circular fluorescent screen. Fluorescent screen is what? Whenever radiation falls, it shines, and that is called what? Fluorescent screen. So just to detect all these, he has made arrangement, and why this is called as scattered, we'll discuss later. Okay. So this is the experimental setup. Once again, this is the source of alpha particles. This is our thin gold foil. Okay. This is a screen. Okay. To detect the alpha particles, and let's see what all he has done it. Okay. Rutherford's scattering experiment. A thin gold foil bombarded is hit with a stream of fast moving alpha particles. Right. Why only gold foil? I told it is a highly malleable. Okay. Very thin sheets can be made out of gold. He chose a sheet of thickness 1000 atoms for the experiment. That means gold can be made into that level, that thin sheet. Okay. Why alpha particles? Alpha particles are double charged helium atom. Okay. Fast moving alpha particles have high energy. So he want to know, when high energy alpha particles are sent into the gold structure, what happens? He was very curious to know, because in the Thomson model, picture was not clear. Proton is in the red part of the watermelon, and the electron is the black seed part of the watermelon. That's all. Okay. Electrical neutrality was maintained, but remaining properties were not explained. So to understand those properties, he want to go deep into the structure of atom. Okay. That's why he chose alpha particles for what? Fast moving and high energy radiation from the radioactive source. Okay. Right. Now, what he has made, what were his observations? Okay. See, this is the all these are gold atoms, because he has taken the gold sheet. Gold sheet contains many gold atoms. So this is the zoomed picture of the gold sheet, where alpha rays are moving. Okay, this is the direction of alpha rays. They are moving. Okay, now see, some are moving in the maximum, moving this side. Okay, that means what? When alpha rays are allowed to fall on gold atoms, he found three observations. Observation number one: most of the alpha particles went straight, without any deflection, without any deviation. Okay, straight away. Okay. Now, second observation was, few alpha particles showed deflection. Okay. So that means these alpha particles came and went somewhere. Alpha particles came and went somewhere. So they showed, excuse me, deflection, or alpha particles scattered here and there. So because of this reason, this atomic model is also called as Rutherford's alpha particle scattering experiment. Scattered here and there in the mood. They showed deviations, deflection from the normal path. Now, third observation was, very few alpha particles. I'm using the word very few. Okay, very few alpha particles bounced back. So these three interesting observations he found. Why these three observations? Let us see. This is still very highly microscopic molecular level diagram, imagination diagram. Okay. So nowadays, sophisticated spectroscopy branch is there in the chemistry. There we can see, but time being, this is the what molecular level or the microscopic level of gold, where alpha particles are going here. Some are showing deflection, and very few are bouncing back. Okay, right. Why these three observations he found? See here, observations. Most of the particles went straight through the gold foil. Okay. Second is what? Several particles, few particles, were deflected straight back towards the source. Uh, very few particles are deflected at large angles, bounced back. Okay. Why? Here are the reasons. Okay. See, what he made, why most of the alpha particles went straight? It is because he explained his model in such a way that much of the space in an atom is empty. Because the space is empty, so in that area where alpha particles were traveling, so they went straight because they were in the empty space area. First of all, charge of the alpha particles is what? Plus, and they are high energy. Okay, so they went straight without any showing any deflection, because empty space, so no restriction, no obstacles, so they went straight. So from this observation, he concluded much of the space in the atom is empty. Now, what was the second observation? Few alpha particles showed deflection. Why? Because they were moving close to the nucleus. Alpha particles which were traveling, which were moving near nucleus, they were showing deflection. That means what is the charge of alpha particles? It is a positive. Okay, because positive charge is showing deflection, it's what? There is one more plus area where they are going near that plus area. Because of that plus area and plus charge of the alpha particles showing the deflection. And third, you see, third was very few alpha particles bounced back. That means alpha particles which are going on the axis of the nuclear, on the axis of the central part of the atom, they were bouncing back. That means he concluded that at the center of the structure of atom, there is a small area, there is a small region, there is a small volume that he named it as a nucleus. So, alpha particles which are going on the axis of the nucleus of the structure of atom, because of the plus plus, where because of plus plus, they were bouncing back. Why bouncing back? Charge of the alpha particles is also positive, and the charge of the nucleus is what? Plus. Why it is positive? Because protons are there in the nucleus. Okay. So protons are there in the nucleus, and where are the electrons? Electrons are outside the nucleus. Okay. So because electrons are outside, plus the particles came without any, and electrons are very small particles, without any deflection, they went straight. Whereas size of the nucleus is so small, because of the small size of nucleus, those particles, those alpha particles which are going on the axis of the nucleus, they only bounce back. For your comparison, one example. Let us imagine football stadium. Okay. So football stadium is the structure of atom. Okay, where electrons are evolving. Which is the nucleus? You take the football and keep at the center of the football stadium. Okay. That football is, you take it as a nucleus. So now from football onwards up to the boundary. Okay, that football stadium, that is how much space is there? Lot of space is there now. That is called empty space of the nucleus. Sorry, empty space of the atom. So alpha particles which are traveling in that area, they were not affected, so they went straight. Alpha particles coming close to the football or the what we say the nucleus, they were deflected, and the alpha particles there, they are coming on the axis, on the center of the nucleus, they were bouncing back. Why very few? Because size of the nucleus is very small compared to the size of the atom. So three observations and three conclusions. Now we have concluded what? Out of the, we know that atom is made up of two particles, electrons and the protons as of now. Okay. So at the center, protons are there, and that part is called as what? Nucleus of that atom. Okay. Now it is very small in size. Okay. So then much of the space is empty. That time the electrons are there in that area. Okay. So electrons are allowed to move in a certain area around the nucleus, and nucleus is controlling the electron due to the what? Opposite charges. Nucleus is a positive charge, electron negative charge, attraction force is there. So one side attraction force, one side electronic revolution around nucleus. So these two forces are keeping the electron intact. That means we can compare the structure of atom to the our existing solar system, where sun acts as a nucleus and other planets acts as a electron. That's for the comparison purpose. Okay. So like that, Rutherford gave an idea about the structure of atom. What is the plus point of the Rutherford structure? It is what? He discovered the nucleus. Okay. So the credit of discovery of nucleus goes to the Ernest Rutherford. Okay. So we'll stop here only. Tomorrow we'll discuss one more model. Till then, have a nice time. Thank you.